Today we're going to be taking a look at Parity EQ. This is it. I figured I'd start by just showing you a bunch of the presets. So it is an equalizer whose entire idea is just to max out movement and modulation, essentially. So all the presets are these crazy things that move around, and you can modulate pretty much anything. If you right click on it, there is a mods option. And if you click this, it brings you to the mod page where you can connect all sorts of various things. If we go over to the presets, there's a bunch of categories. And if you go to the search icon, you have kind of this nice browser to look through them all. I am going to go ahead and just remove each of these filters. So if you double click, you can add a filter. You could change the type of the filter by simply clicking on this little symbol right here. And so if I were to come down here and add, for example, this peaking filter, and I want this to move around while the bass plays. So I have this bass line. And let's go ahead and bypass it really quick. This is the bass line without parity. Go ahead and just have the bass. And there's a unison increasing and a pluck length changing. So that's already changing on its own, just the bass line. I just wanted a cool line to have something to show you. I'm going to go ahead and take this, and I should also show you the post chain here really quick. We've got a Maximus, which is a multi-band compressor, an OTT, which is a multi-band compressor again, and then a hyper chorus is not on, so there's not a chorus after this. But just so you know, I am driving it into a compression stage, because EQs are great for setting the input gain on frequencies to go into a stage like a multi-band compressor to drive it. So that's what we're doing here. Once we have it, say we just have this gain move right here like this. Oh, let's go ahead, let's turn it on as well. And it's already got some modulation on it. Let's go ahead and go to the mods by right-clicking on gain. We go over to the envelope, there is some modulation depth applied. So on each of these, we have an LFO, a sequencer. You can add more of these. We have these different options. And so let's take a look here at the envelope, since this one is being applied. So if we have a depth of 0, this is basically the gain control, and this is how much it's going to be affected by it, negative, positive. So if we play this, we could give it a gain, and as it passes our range, it's going to start moving this. And so that's why this is moving up, down. So maybe we want it like this, and we want it to boost when it comes in. So now it basically acts just like an upwards expansion. If it comes in and it's loud, we make it even louder. We can make it a compressor by simply having it go down instead of up. But that's kind of not the point of Parity EQ. The point is to make interesting EQ shapes. So let's go ahead, let's put this down, let's give it a bit of a boost, and let's also go to the frequency of this guy, go to mods, and then do we have any modulation? We can always just take a quick peek in the mixing tab area to make sure. And let's go ahead and go over to the envelope again. I like the envelopes for this. And let's give it a little bit of a frequency move up. So it'll kind of move around. And let's see what that does to it. maybe we'll give it a little bit more extreme of a boost to the gain, because we want a little bit more of a motion there. Maybe a bigger boost. Yeah, something like that. We can always adjust the offsets here by simply moving them. Maybe give it a bigger Q. Okay, maybe not that big of a Q. Now let's go through, let's add a series of notch filters to this. So we're gonna come in here, add a notch. I wish the icon was a little bit sharper because it would make it a little bit easier to see. Let's have these two notches moving around. And let's have them move around using the sequencer. So for the notch, it's really the Q that's going to make a big difference in the frequency location. So let's first go after the frequency location. We'll go for the sequencer this time. And I am just going to add some random stuff here. In fact, this is one way to do it. If you go to the LFO, if you hover over it, you see this little like line icon. You could choose different signals. So we could choose random noise, and that's one thing we could do. I'm gonna go ahead and go with this. Now in here, there are some nice options for the skew. And by moving this, we can skew it one way or the other to get these different shapes. I'm gonna go to a Bezier curve and give it a little bit smoother of a shape. And we'll give it some modulation up and down here. And it's gonna start randomly going all over the place, right? Let's go ahead and rein it in so it doesn't move too far from the region we're looking at. And let's go ahead and bring this down somewhere down here. I think it's going to be where it's going to be really good. Let's go over to the sequencer again. And right now this sequencer number 3 is going after this right here. So we can actually give it the exact same motion by just using the same modulator on this. So we'll just go ahead, bring this up. They'll move in tandem. This is a little wild, so let's bring down the length to something a little bit shorter. And if we want to get crazier, we can. And let's bring down the shift. Or do we want to match the depth? We'll leave the depth low, and let's just bring them a touch closer. And let's go ahead and also, while we're here, take this chance to affect the gain. We'll give it a little bit of a gain change. Or not the gain, I'm sorry, the Q. And the same thing for Q2, maybe less though, since it is down there in that more significant region. Okay, so let's hear this. Let's give the Q2, when they're moving around like this, they're so hard to click. Let's go to mods. Let's give this a little bit more on the sequencer. Give it some more wild variation. And then for this, it would be kind of cool if we had this really wide band on filter. Let's grab, oops, I'm grabbing the points. Yeah, you can move around where these points are like visually. I tend to use the controls. They're just a little more easy to select. We're going to go after 4. We're going to make this band extremely wide. So let's make the gain low so it's easy to see what we're doing. We'll make it very wide. And let's have this thing respond to the audio. Let's have it go after more of the high end. Do something like this. And we are going to have this one do a gain boost. I don't know. Well, let's see. There's a couple of things we could do. So I'm going to add a ADSR just because, I don't know, I want to add a new one. And we're going to have this one do a boost. And it says hit. This is basically your threshold. So if we listen to this while it plays. And let's go ahead and move the gain, or not the gain, let's move the frequency down on this. And let's grab the gain again. It updates what you're grabbing here when you just move it. Let's grab the frequency and move it up just a smidge. And maybe instead, let's try doing a cut. Let's move this gain so it's only going to go negative. And maybe instead of going for a broad thing, maybe we narrow it up a bit. Oh, we're moving the frequency now. I didn't mean to do that. Could be kind of cool. Let's shift it up if we're going to do that. So we can get kind of this subdued sound right here. And later on, if we wanted, we could actually bring the gain up and get a brighter sound out of these things. So we could have them brought in. And what I would do with this actually is have the mix come in over time. Or I'd have it be the opposite, like this. And this would fade out. And what could be kind of fun if we come over here, let's move this one down, is to add another parity EQ. All right, let's pick a fun one here. Yeah, why not? So we're going to have this one. So we've added a second one here. We're going to automate this one in so that it's coming in over this amount of time. So we have something interesting sort of happening at the end. It's nice transition. And then, bam, some transition there. And that's what we do, right? If you pick up Parity EQ, let me know what you think of it in the Discord, or I guess you could comment down below. But if you go down in the description, there's a link to my website. And at the very bottom of the website is a link to Discord. I'd love to hear what you think about it. Subscribe to that bell icon for future videos, and have a blessed day.